So I worked at Ralph Russo in 2014 in January for 6 weeks, and I think it was I think they were doing a catwalk show, which would have made them the first British-based or British-birthed couture house. So it was a big deal for them. At the time, I think they'd just moved from Mortlake to Knightsbridge. If I remember correctly, they were just above, I think it might have been the Gucci store on Sloane Street. So, I mean, before working for Ralph and Russo, I hadn't really known much about them. I just knew that they made very expensive dresses. And I kind of just went in there as an open book, just ready to learn. Naturally, I've been recommended, so they knew that I was very capable of joining the team and doing a great job. I met both the bosses, Tamara and Michael. Really great people. I think Tamara was the designer, and Michael was the businessman behind it. So they both had their respective roles, and I was there to do my job and also learn as a fellow business person. I met some incredible machinists there. I mean, there was a gentleman called I think it was called Joseph. He was a French guy, and he always came to work with this lab coat. And I've very seldom seen that in the UK. It's normally international machinists. Like if you're working at Dior or those kind of places, the staff would wear lab coats, and they'd get on the machines. And the lab coat, I guess, signifies not only professionalism, but it also protects your clothes from dust, from fabric and fibers and so forth. So that really inspired me to maybe do that in my own business. But we were working on £70,000 dresses, and it wasn't so much the value of the dress that was important. It was more the level of workmanship that went into it. I probably would say second to Alexander McQueen, Ralph and Russo. They really had their eye on the detail. We might be dealing with pleated silk organza, really fine pleats, and that you had to pin hem, and then make sure that the pin hem didn't distort any of the pleats, which anybody that knows how to sew knows that is a very difficult thing to do. So there was a lot of redoing. I'll probably say I was the most nervous out of all the brands I worked for, working at Ralph Russo, because there was kind of like imposter syndrome. Looking at the quality of the machinists they had, I kind of thought, what on earth am I doing here? Am I up to par to be alongside these great artisans? And yeah, just even the way they did their pattern cutting, it was such a fresh technique. Now I didn't do any beading work, but one thing that I hadn't seen that Ralph and Russo did is that all their beading work was done in the UK. Was done in their showroom. And then the way that their offices were set out is that you come up the stairs, you're greeted by this amazing oudish fragrance as you walk into the foyer. To your left is kind of like the meeting rooms and Michael and Tamara's office, and then to the right is to right would have been the workrooms and the pattern cutting rooms. So it was quite a huge space. There was a lot of room. It wasn't cramped quarters. And yeah, I'd say that the 6 weeks that I worked there, definitely learned a lot. Made a lot of friends, and learned new techniques, really. new techniques. Some of them I hadn't actually learned at the Queen or Victoria Beckham. But yeah, it was definitely a privilege to have on my CV that I've been able to work at Ralph Russo, one of the most prestigious brands, or if not the most prestigious brand out of the UK. It's such a shame that they don't exist anymore. I think it might have been just as COVID kicked off that Tamara decided to close the business. And funny enough, one of my current staff members used to work at Ralph Russo, but this was after I was there. So just as they made her redundant, I gave her a job. Yeah, so it was such a shame to see such a reputable, credible brand not be able to survive COVID. But I mean, in my mind, I'm just excited to see the next brand that will take over that place of being a couture fashion house that is from the UK.